Well, Hamas continues to fire rockets from Gaza into southern Israel. Warning sirens have sounded across Israel, with people in the coastal city of Tel Aviv and surrounding towns there taking shelter. Well, let's bring in our correspondent, Stephanie Decker, who's very close to the Gaza-Israel border. Steph, I'll get to the reports of the rockets we've been hearing about in just a moment, but we have been reporting on this planned offensive from Israel into Gaza. What sort of mobilizations have you been seeing there on the border?
Yes, well, you can probably see behind me, and Samir will take you closer. You were just talking about that Israeli army statement that an attack from the air, the sea and the ground is imminent. What you're looking at now is a contingent of Israeli tanks stationed on the outskirts of the Gaza border. This is just a very small fraction of the military buildup, the military hardware that has been brought into these areas. Of course, it's been the largest call-up of Israeli reservists in Israel's history. So this gives you a sense of the power that the Israelis are going to use. It's just, as I said, just a small fraction of what is stationed around here that has been brought here over the last week. We saw the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu yesterday talking to troops, saying the next phase was about to begin. Some leaks in the Israeli media saying that the ground offensive was expected to perhaps have started overnight, but that weather, heavy cloud, was perhaps a deterrent. These are all speculations. What is clear is that the military hardware is in place. It does seem to be only a question of time before that happens.
Steph, let me ask you now about those rocket attacks. I know you've been experiencing those yourself. How are people there near the border holding up? Are they leaving?
People have left, a lot of people have left, but there's also a lot of Israelis who've decided to stay. We were in Ashkelon yesterday, in Sderot, where there was a constant barrage of missiles being fired overhead, most of them intercepted by Israeli anti-missile system, the Iron Dome. Also at night in Ashdod, heavy barrage overhead where we were staying, and also Tel Aviv, as you mentioned there. So despite the intensity, the most intense bombardment of Gaza that, we have seen throughout the period of the many wars that have happened here, they still haven't managed to take out Hamas's rocket firing capabilities. So certainly that is a reality along this border. But what you are seeing from the people living here is that they are very much behind the military. They are very much behind this war, and they're very much behind the message from the Israeli army that they want Hamas to be taken out. And of course, we do have to say, again, the distinction that 2 million civilians inside Gaza do not represent Hamas, are not responsible for the attack by Hamas, but there is a lot of anger and calls for revenge, certainly from people here.
Stephanie Decker there on the ground for us near the border with Gaza on the Israeli side. Thank you very much, Steph. Well, the US Secretary of State has met the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman in Riyadh for more talks on the Gaza war. Antony Blinken visited the kingdom on Saturday before heading to the United Arab Emirates. In Abu Dhabi, he met the president, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. They discussed the need for cooperation to restore regional stability and to allow humanitarian aid into Gaza. Meanwhile, the US has sent a second aircraft carrier strike group to the eastern Mediterranean. This show of force aims to deter regional